for me at least, possibly the best new anime to come out of this spring, and that's even going over Tokyo. I have loved 86. I have loved everything about it. I loved how they have handled the episodes, with the multiple viewpoints that we've gotten to see. I have absolutely adored this series, and if you guys have not checked it out yet, I highly recommend to go check it out because it is incredible. Very excited for season 2 at some point, and excited to see what's going to continue to come out of it. What's going on? Welcome into AniMan Plus episode 38. I'm your host, Alex Light with Sparky3. Hopefully you are having a phenomenal day, whatever day you're listening or perhaps watching this podcast over at our YouTube channel, Sparky3. Make sure to give us a like on the video. We'd greatly appreciate that, and subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with both AniMan Plus and Lighthearted Gamers. We got a decent amount of stuff here to talk about today. Some weekly Shonen Jump news going on with some series ending, some new series coming in. That's always an exciting thing. Some My Hero stuff. Got a little key visual at the JJK movie. That's always dope there. And of course, Demon Slayer breaking records as it normally does. And here to talk with me about everything that we got. Joining me in studio, we got Zach. Zach, how are you doing today?
Going good. Can't complain. We're really kicking them out this week. Third one this week. We're going.
Yeah, I know. Me and you we're on a roll right now. E3 week has been a week for us. If you haven't listened to Lighthearted Gamers with everything we have going on over there, with E3, we put out a couple episodes giving our full reaction, so make sure to listen to that. We really appreciate it. And then joining with us over the phones, a man who's going to hopefully deliver an inspirational speech here at the end of this episode, we have Josh. Josh, do you got a speech lined up? Are you ready to go? Are you pumped? Are you hyped?
I totally forgot that you guys tried to make me give a speech last week.
I tried nothing. Don't put this on me.
You didn't stop him either, though. You didn't say, bro, let's not do that this time.
I mean, you're right, but
yeah,
I'm just a bystander here.
Well, anyway, Alex, I can't believe you're trying to put that on me again.
Well, I mean, does that mean that you got something lined up? Are you good to go?
No.
Oh, well, that's just disappointing. Well, we'll circle back to that in about an hour. We'll see where you are,
okay.
See where your headspace is, see if you're ready to go for it or not. Well, I don't know. You might. You never know. So first and foremost, if you could, follow us over at Twitter. We'd greatly appreciate that, at AniMan Podcast. You can also follow Lighthearted Gamers at LH Gamers Podcast. We'd greatly appreciate that as well. We do have the AniMan Plus bonus cast for Father's Day that is going to be coming out here. It should actually be out the day this episode comes out. So make sure to check that out where we give, where we talk about some of the best dads across anime and manga. And we also give a shout out to a couple shitty ones. And then lastly, if you want to support us further, the Patreon is a great way to do so, but do not feel obligated to do so. Hey, just listen to the show, be a friend, tell a friend. That's enough for us. But again, if you got some extra dollars you want to throw away, Patreon's a place to do it, and we greatly appreciate that. All right, so let's actually jump into the news that we got lined up for this week. So first and foremost, we've kind of mentioned this show a couple times in the past. Record of Ragnarok is now on Netflix. The first 12 episodes is now streaming. Right before we started this show, Josh did come across a little tidbit that apparently it's perhaps kind of rough. I don't know. We'll see. I've heard we currently have it planned to watch these 12 episodes, and we'll give a review on it in either a bonus cast or a spoiler cast. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But we're planning to check it out. Hopefully, it's not ass. I guess we'll see. I know our friend John's really excited for it. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We do have a key visual and a release date for JJK Volume 0 movie. The key visual, very straightforward to the point, but the release date being Christmas Eve, which is also a nice little fun fact because that is the date of what is it called that happens? I'm drawing a blank, where Toto kind of becomes famous.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called at the moment either right now, but I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Because Josh, I remember you post
100 Nights Parade.
That's what it was. Thank you. Because that actually happens on Christmas Eve. So kind of nice marketing there on their end for that one.
I think it's the plot of the movie.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's also pretty cool.
Yeah, overall, just good marketing on that end. We did get a My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission trailer. Did you guys have a chance to check that out?
Nope.
Okay. What about you, Josh?
Not yet.
It looked pretty cool. Doesn't give a whole lot of indication on where we're kind of going, just general gist. But, some other news that came out afterwards kind of gives you a little bit more of an indication on where we're going. Because we did get a actual look at our villain, who happens to be voiced by the voice actor for Zoro from One Piece. Shout out to that. Basically part of the Blue Man Group. And he's part of a group called Humanize, which their goal is to eliminate quirks across the entire planet. So that's kind of where we're going to be going with this film. Looking forward to seeing it. The trailer looked great. The couple shots that we got of our three main characters here all looked phenomenal. Especially Shoto. Shoto had a very, very beautifully animated moment in the trailer for sure. So lots of stuff to look forward to here in this movie. We also have that special book that's going to be coming out with it. If you go see the movie, it's like the first 1 million people that go see it, I believe, is going to get to receive a special story from Hirkoshi himself involving the World Heroes missions. Just shout out to that. It's pretty dope there. We also do have confirmation of a Witcher anime film that is a spin-off that's coming out on Netflix this year, later this fall. We don't other than fall, we don't have an exact release window, called Nightmare of the Wolf. It's going to be the origin story of Geralt's mentor and a fellow Witcher, Vesemir. Is that how you pronounce it? Vesemir? Did I nail it?
Vesemir.
Vesemir? Thank you.
Yeah.
I was close. I did all right, I guess. Can't complain too much, right?
And also Geralt.
Geralt. I thought it was Geralt.
It's Geralt.
Geralt?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We all sort of fucked that one up.
Yeah.
Except Josh. So,
Well, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we all kind of messed up on that one a little bit, didn't we?
Well,
Yeah.
I want to say I'm a little iffy on this, just because, I've read most of the Witcher books, and so this is going to be completely new. I mean, I enjoy The Witcher, I really do, but yeah, so this is going to be pretty much like all like new stuff. So I don't know. I'm iffy on how it's going to go.
Do you plan on watching it right around when it comes out, though?
Of course. Why not?
Okay. Well, I'll probably end up checking out as well, just for the simple sake that, got a podcast that talks about this stuff, so I'll probably check it out. We'll see how it goes, though. All right, so we did get the lineup for Weekly Shonen Jump issue 29. Of course, Mashal is on the cover. Shout out to that. Blue Box is actually lined up at first, which is pretty hype. After Mashal, of course, Mashal gets the cover, Mashal gets the lead off, and then Blue Box after that. Elusive Samurai at 3, Sakamoto Days at 5, Mission Yozakura Family at 6. I mean, the new generation, man, really taking those top slots, which is always a cool thing to see. Witch Watch gets a color page. Again, Witch Watch, a lot of people are on board with. Me and you, Zach, we're really the minorities here on Witch Watch, but yeah, you shout out to getting the color page. Ball Parade, of course, is last, and we did get the official confirmation that we've heard for the past few weeks that Hard Boiled Cop and Dolphin is officially coming to an end in this upcoming Weekly Shonen Jump, which, leading over from there, is getting us room for a new series we have starting up in issue 30, which is going to be called Red Hood. The little cover for it I saw did look pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more about this series. In issue 30, we're also going to get color pages for Black Clover, Mission Yozakura Family, and Magu-chan God of Destruction. And then leading up into issue 31, we have another new series kicking off called Martial Arts Road Neru. And, what's going to end in issue 30? That's going to be the question. My prediction is ITLC. But, we can agree that Ball Parade's probably dead. We can probably agree on that. ITLC, we know, is pretty much out the door. But based on where the two series is, ITLC just wrapped up a case. Obviously a fairly notable large case. So there's really nowhere to go for the series other than just to end or start a new arc. Yeah. So my prediction, ITLC will end in issue 30 next week. A couple of fun facts for you. Go ahead, Josh.
Oh no, I was gonna say I wouldn't go so far as to call, ITLC ending soon, because we also have Jujutsu Kaisen on a hiatus for at least the next month. So that's at least one spot open up in the magazine. So they could, in theory, add a new one and keep one that may be cut soon going for another couple chapters at least.
That is a good point. That is something that we could see, but on a counter defense here, Hunter.
Oh yeah.
Hunter x Hunter. So I don't know. Just based on where ITLC is going to go, with where it's at, I don't see it going anywhere but a new arc of some sort that's going to feel very pointless, or it just ending. Because like I said, we just finished up the stuff with Phantom Thief Mar. So really nowhere to go but to end or start something new. And Ball Parade, based on where it's at, probably got at least a few more chapters in it right now. I would guess.
The surprising turn it made. Yeah, we're going to get a couple more chapters more than expected.
Yeah, I mean, both of those we can very much consider done and out the door. But I would say for issue 30, I would predict ITLC to be the one that ends, but we'll see. But a couple fun facts involving these new series we have coming out. Red Hood was the first entry and the winner of the Jump's Golden Future Cup in 2020. Every winner is granted serialization in the magazine. So this is just a matter of time of when it was going to get its chance. Here it is.
I still haven't looked at the image art for Red Hood, so every time we say it, I just picture Red Hood from DC.
Batman?
Yes. Yeah. I just picture him with his hood and guns, and I'm just like,
time.
I was just like, this seems like an awful change.
Hey, the still up that they put, man, it looked pretty good. Both of these actually looked pretty cool, just from the general images that we saw. I'm excited to read both of these. As for the Martial Arts Road and Nero, it was a short digital series in Weekly Shonen Jump started in issue 42 in 2020, lasting 4 chapters, and that's not. It didn't last 4 chapters because it sucked. That's literally how long it was supposed to go.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so it already had a little bit of Chance to Shine, was received really well, and now it's getting a full actual weekly serialization of the magazine. So these are a couple series that I'm looking forward to checking out. Our latest batch of Blue Box and Candy Flurry. I'm personally really enjoying both of these, so I'm looking forward to checking these out as well and see what we got coming out of them. Especially since one of the series that we did have cut loose here is one that I never picked up, so it'll just be a new series for me to kind of check out and kind of go for from there. Then talking about Demon Slayer real quick. So the Demon Slayer movie for the Blu-ray DVD sold 486,000 discs on the first day of release, which is setting a new record. No surprise there. With that also said, it also broke the highest 1 week record for Blu-ray DVD disc sales within that one day, which is absolutely insane. But at this point, it's like we're not even surprised by this anymore. I wanted to shout it out just because it's like further give Demon Slayer its kudos, just because of how much it's just blowing up right now. But so finishing up here with the news this week, we do have some sales numbers for the June Weekly Shonen Jump volumes that have come out. These are going to continue to move as the month goes on. We'll continue to update you on it as we continue on with the month. So, coming in at number 1 here, we do have JJK Volume 16 has sold 1.1 million copies. Jeez, man. One Piece Volume 99 with 1 million. Shout out to that. Dr. Stone Volume 21 with 106K. Ayakashi Triangle Volume 4 with 34K. Witch Watch Volume 1 with 15.4. Sakamoto Days Volume 2 with 13.5. And also, please note that Witch Watch and Sakamoto Days both needed reprints. So what they sold here is what they originally printed. Now we got more on the way, so those numbers are definitely going to continue to rise. And we'll see where they're going to kind of topple off at. Which overall, not terrible numbers for Volume 1, not terrible numbers for Volume 2 for these series that aren't like your top dogs. Weekly Shonen Jump, they're doing well, and needing reprints is always a good thing to see. High School Family Volume 2, 3.3 K copies, which is better than Volume 1 ever did. Volume 1 was terrible, and I still can't help but think it's because of Kubo saying that he liked it.
I think it's also because of Kubo. Kubo pushed it.
Yeah, that's got to be it, man. Maku-chan Volume 4 with 5.8. Maku-chan's not doing too bad. It's not doing too bad in sales. Build King Volume 2, which of course is now dead, 3.5K. And then Ball Parade Volume 1, 2.1, which is... That might be worse than what ITLC did.
I think it is.
That might be worse. Any real takeaways from these early sales numbers? Anything that really jumps out at you guys? Shout out to JJK and One Piece both crossing 1 million. That's pretty hype. I like the big thing that jumps out to me is Witch Watch and Sakamoto Days both needing reprints. That's a good sign. So anything that really jumps out to you guys on this?
The real thing that jumps out to me is apparently with us being from the West, there's something in Witch Watch that we're missing.
Yeah, see, I agree, because even this latest chapter, not good.
No, not in my eyes either.
Not good. there's something about Witch Watch that's capturing people, but it's just not resonating with us. I don't know what it is. Josh, anything jumps out to you?
Not really. And as far as like, what you guys are saying about Witch Watch, I mean, maybe it's just the demographic. Maybe it's, the people that are enjoying it. Because, I mean, I don't know if we've talked about this. It's kind of like a random fun fact. The people in Japan that, like, read Mashal the most are older women, like in their 20s to 40s. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I randomly saw that in, like, a tweet, and, it just kind of stuck with me. So maybe that's what we're missing is just we're not the demographic for Witch Watch, but the demographic for Witch Watch is loving it.
That really explains that toddler chapter a couple weeks back now, if that's the demographic for Mashal.
Yeah. That does. That's actually a really interesting fun fact. I didn't know that. Where'd you come across that? Just like on Twitter or something just popped up?
Yeah, just popped up on Twitter somewhere. I should have taken a picture and put it in the Discord channel, but yeah, it stuck with me since I saw it. Like, I never would have imagined older to middle-aged women like enjoying Mashal, but hey.
All I see now is, he's trying so hard, and damn, he's ripped.
Yeah, basically, man. All right, so let's hop over to our anime breakdowns for the week. So, we're coming to a close on a couple series here. Next episode 39 will be the wrap up for Seven Deadly Sins in 86. So that's it. I mean, a couple things off our slate. So let's kick things off with My Hero Academia season 5 episode 12. What's you guys' immediate thoughts on this one? We're about to kick things off with My Villain Academia. I saw on Twitter for the new intro and outro for this upcoming arc that we're about to explore. But this being a good wrap up for the training stuff that we had. We had the conversation with Bakugo, Deku, and All Might. Not the one that I thought.
Yeah.
I thought this was a different one. That was my fault last episode here. This is not the one that I thought where All Might was gonna basically get shit kind of lined up for Deku. That's gonna be later on. But get to see a little conversation on them talking about the quirk popping out, Black Whip. Got a little nice little, training segment there that you got to see between Deku and Bakugo as well. And then, of course, the majority of the episode kind of focused on, Bakugo and Todoroki getting their hero's license. And, just after 30 minutes of getting it, go ahead and jumping into action. What are you guys' takeaways for this episode?
I mean, got to see a nice little segment there towards the end of still some aftermath stuff with Eerie after everything.
Yeah.
With that happened during her whole arc, and the bad side of the academy. I forgot that's what she called it.
Yeah, the bad side of the academy. Yeah.
Besides that, just watching Todoroki and Bakugo do their thing, and then seeing Killer Orca again and just going, Killer Orca still just looks so much like a villain to me.
He does. He really, really does, man. Josh,
but it's the point. To be honest, I didn't have time to watch the episode.
Oh, so that's right.
This in 86 I haven't watched. But it is what it is. But as far as Killer Orca goes, that's kind of like his gimmick, is he's supposed to look like a bad guy. Right.
So. I mean, it was a good episode. Looking forward to seeing how the anime does the My Villain Academia. As we've mentioned numerous times, this was kind of tough to read weekly. So I really do think the anime is going to do it justice. I think it's going to be a good time for the anime. And I'm pumped for it. Pumped to hear the new intro, outro. My Hero's usually got some bangers for music. And then this season should finish off, obviously, with the Endeavor arc. So
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Based on, the movie, it should. This season should finish up with that, which helps set us up for next season, of course, being going to be incredible. Can't wait for that. But Josh, how was One Piece 978? I know 977 ended with that really hype moment with Kid, Law, and Luffy. How we following up on that, and what do we got going on?
Yeah, no, this episode is actually really good. Like, it's one of those ones that was almost movie quality. Like, you would expect it from like a One Piece movie, not from the anime. So like the animation wise, it was fantastic. First half of the episode, kind of drug out, because it was just pretty much them explaining why the Sunny didn't get blown up when they threw bombs at it.
Right.
Because it's made out of wood from the atom tree, so it can't be like blown up or anything like that. But then when it gets to Kid Law and Luffy going ham on these ships, that's when everything like just kind of got kicked up a notch. And I can't stress enough, the animation for that part was so good. It kind of gave me chills watching it just because of like how good it was, and even like being able to keep up the banter between the three of them. It was so good. And it kind of ended on not necessarily like a downer, but after having that like whole action sequence and then getting the introduction or bringing Denjiro back into the fold, kind of felt a little, left me wanting a little more for the end of the episode, but it's setting up for the next episode. So,
did the fight remind you of Pirates of the Caribbean World End during the ship battle and the whirlpool?
Kind of, in a way. Because, I mean, the difference is it wasn't a whirlpool, like Law just shot the ship up into the sky, but just like all three of them just kind of like flying around the ship as it's falling, like taking on it did kind of give me Pirates of the Caribbean vibe.
I'm happy that's a thing. All right.
Yeah.
I may have broken Alex, so.
I don't know why I don't know why that caught me off guard. I forgot it was on there.
I was about to say, you're the one that set those.
I know. Josh, he just switched to the shot of it where it's, the slapping the button meme, and it's Jimmy Neutron, and the button says, "Got a blast." And I don't know why, but it just made me start laughing when I saw it. Hey, I'm sorry. It caught me off guard. I don't even know why. I guess it's just because of the mood that I'm in today, kind of on the tired side. Good. How was Dragon Quest episode 36? What do we have going on over there? Is the end in sight? No.
No.
No, never.
We still have at least like 6 villains to make their appearances.
Yeah, you got a while, man. You're going to be with this show until like next year.
Yeah, more than likely at this point. So Dai gets trashed by the guy who's a chimera. He transforms himself into a monster that's been pieced together with a bunch of monsters. So yeah, he trashes Dai because Dai uses too much energy, swallows Dai, actually puts him in his stomach. Then it proceeds to be Pop trying to fight his way to save Dai. Pop gets thrown around. Our rat companion manages to bring up his courage and fight the creature, the monster guy. Comes up with a new attack, hits him enough where he slightly spits out Dai, because like he spits up gastric acid and everything, and he has a like nice little mouth in his stomach that opens up, and Dai's just sort of just hanging there. Just like, you couldn't down a little bit more. Continuing my theory of Pop is the best damn magician in this world, because he now uses Flazards, our big elemental chain wearing guy from an arc or two back, had a nice little skill called 5-finger flare. Where he throws 5 fire blasts off his fingers at once, and Pop does that with no prior experience. He just does that move because he's seen it and goes, I bet I could do that. Continues to ensure me that Pop is the best damn magician in this universe, regardless of how much of a piece of shit he is.
Right.
Mam's sort of useful now, and she breaks out of their prison and begins to fight the creature after it's beat everyone else up, because she can now imbue healing energy into her fist, which somehow allows her to destroy biological things. And then it ends with setting up for Mam to fight the thing. But after seeing the preview, I think it's still going to make Mam seem sort of useless, because even though it's her big moment, she still needs help, and Dai's the hero, so he gets to finish it off. She's getting shafted by the hero.
So she has her moment just to get shafted.
Yes, and the hero takes the big moment.
As normal.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, well, sucks to be Mam, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you're not Pop. At least you're not Pop.
I don't know. Pop seems like to be a pretty good moment at the time. He apparently can't die. He can use any spell he goddamn pleases. And he's still apparently going to get the girl in the end. Maybe 2. I don't know. It's looking pretty good for Pop.
So Pop's had a redemption story.
Oh, his redemption was shit. He's still a piece of shit. But he's got everything going for him. Like, I don't care what you say. He can't fucking die because he's been killed. He can use any spell he damn well pleases after he sees it once or twice. and he has 2 women who are have affection for him.
Sounds like Pop's about to get a spin-off series, Dragon Quest: The Adventures of Pop.
Pretty much.
And you gonna watch that?
I mean, if I have to, sure, fuck it.
I'll put it on the script.
Yeah,
I'll put it on the script, and I'll make you have to watch it. All right. What about Tokyo Revengers episode 10? You know, we're very neck deep in the middle of the battle of 8-3 right now. What did you guys think about what's going on?
This is one that I did get to watch, and it was worth it. It was so good.
Yeah, I'm curious of your thoughts, Josh. You know, since you haven't read the manga content, so overall, what was your takeaway from what's going on?
You know, it was really cool seeing Takamichi try to get that kind of redemption.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't remember the dude's name.
Kiyomasa.
But basically, yeah, choked the shit out of him, and you know, all of his friends like jump in and stuff, and like it was really nice, and it felt really good. Just because Takamichi's been kind of shit on through this entire series, so him getting like this one moment where he's kind of a badass without actually being a badass was really cool.
I want you to let you know, Josh, that is just Takamichi's life.
It really is. It never really changes. I'm going to be honest.
I know. It does make a lot of sense now because in the intro and outro or whatever, he's got that scar on his hand. I've always been like, what the fuck does this have to do? And now I know. So
yeah.
You know, that
when Kiyomasa stabs him in the hand, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it was an enjoyable episode. I very much enjoyed seeing this whole entire thing play out in animated.
Yeah.
I do have to say though, the anime just ends awkwardly on every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't ever have a finish. It just and I understand that the chapters that they're over end at the same spots, but you would think with the anime they would at least try and give sort of a closing scene.
Right.
But like in this episode, you just hear the ambulance, but they're still fighting, and it's just like done. We win.
Yeah.
Yeah, just curtain dropped.
Just cold cut.
Yeah.
It really plays as a show that would be like really good when it's all released just to binge through. Just you know, because it doesn't have those like solid endings, so you're just like you can just kind of watch the whole thing through.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of the vibes I get from it, which is really nice, you know, for people who, you know, want to wait for everything to come out and then binge watch it all.
Right. Yeah, I would say this is going to be a really good binge series.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah, I would definitely agree to that because there are just certain series that are just a lot better off as a binge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know one that we had talked about in very early on AniMan Plus days here was Noblesse was one where people were going to want to watch it in one go. Watching it weekly wasn't going to probably get a lot of new fans into the series.
But then again, Noblesse ended on that moment where just Rai just walking in the door, didn't get that finish.
I fucking hate you.
That's not how it ended, right?
No,
that's exactly how it ended.
Shut up.
That is how
Shut up.
I thought.
Shut up.
Alex made a fictional episode for a podcast.
No, I did not. No, I did not. Okay, so for any new listeners here for AniMan Plus that may not have listened to the early days, the joke is I made a little mix-up on the episode count, and I kept saying for a couple episodes, there's only going to be, 12 episodes, and then I was like, oh, wait, no, I'm a dumbass. There's 13. So then Zach's just run with it, where he's like, I still don't know if he's ever watched the 13th episode. I think he's that dedicated to the meme, and he's yet to watch the 13th episode. So he's saying the series ended when Rai walked through the door in episode 12, and that was it.
I mean, that's how it ended, people. I don't know. This is Alex's whole scheme to make it seem like it ended fine, but nah.
Yeah, see, I never watched it. I know what you guys have said. I remember things being how Alex said they were. So
I hate you, Zach. I hate you, but I do like that was brought back up. I do like how we went full circle with that. So shout out to that. Shout out to that old joke. I do want to stress though to everyone listening, I really don't know if he's never watched the 13th episode because he is the type of person that would be that dedicated to the meme and just not watch it. Because he's read it, so he knows the content. So it would not surprise me if he has not actually watched episode 13. And you know what? I don't want to know if you have or not. I enjoy living in mystery, wondering every day and every night if you ever watched that episode. Anyway, so let's hop over from there. We got episode 10 of 86. We only have one more left. Episode 11 dropping this weekend. I'm really pumped to watch it this weekend. It'll probably be the first thing that I watch, being the season finale. This was a very good, wholesome episode, focusing on our remaining Spearhead members and just kind of living their escaped life, basically, getting away from everything.
I did like how this episode was just them.
Yep.
So it makes me think that the last episode's just going to be following Major Waifu.
Lena.
Yes, Major Waifu.
Lena.
Oh, okay. And everything. So, because I was waiting the entire episode to when it was going to switch to her.
Yeah, see, I was waiting for the same thing, and instead, we didn't get a switch from her. We got to switch to Fido and his POV.
That was very good. Just
yeah, it was
because they started rolling the credits. I was like, this is really early.
Dude, they always roll credits early. That's like their thing, man.
But like usually they play the song, but they don't necessarily roll the credits. This was actually showing the credit line.
Yep.
And everything, and then it switched over to Fido's memories of all damn things.
Yep. Basically, when Fido was found by Shin is kind of where it started here, and just went through the timeline of getting to see everyone's POV over time of where I think her name is it Kurenai or Karina, the red-haired chick that's still alive with the squad?
Yeah, I think the second one's correctly.
Yeah, where you get to see like her POV where she's like, "Oh, Shin touched me. Oh my god!" And you get to see that POV. You get to see the POV of Anju, having her little breakdown after I think it was Daya was his name, correct? Daya after his passing. So you got to see a ton of POV from stuff that happened, assumingly, before the series had taken place in timeline, and then stuff that's happened throughout the series.
Yeah, no, it was pretty much just Fido's memories of, because apparently Shin picked him up, and just Fido went to whatever unit he was.
Yep.
And just all the recordings of all the different daily events that happened between Spearhead during those 3 months before Leah was assigned to him, and then during that time, and just also got my confirmation of the guy that hung himself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because there was that shot of him going, an adventure with those 5. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? And then it just shows blood in a hanging in a shadow. I was like, God damn, that's depressing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And, the episode ended on also a depressing note that I have questions on, because Fido was with them.
Yeah.
Throughout this point. So, this episode ended with Fido's destruction.
With 4 days after the current events that were going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so because all that stuff was happening during the 26th. No, wait. No, I'm wrong. It was happening on the 24th, so 6 days after. And the last shot, it said August 30th.
Gotcha. Okay. Overall, the first half was definitely a very wholesome episode, and then it kind of got a little bit on the side that we're kind of used to with this series, where it's kind of on, comes at you quick in a depressive way. Did like to see a lot of the stuff we got to see, like, out of Shin, kind of being so carefree because he accomplished what he set out to do. We had a shot of a Legion that he had to shoot, where based on the voices that he was hearing, that it was a former 86, and put it to rest. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing how this series is going to come to a close. I'm with you. I'll probably focus on Lena, and I am curious, are they going to pair up in person somehow, Lena and the remaining Spearheads? Because based on what I know from the light novels, that it does happen eventually. So I'm curious if episode 11 will pair that up or not.
I don't believe we will see that based on how it's going, because
it would feel a little rushed.
Yeah, it would. Because based on everything that happened in this episode, it feels like that interaction Shin had with the 86 whose mind had been transferred into one of the machines. I feel like that gave Shin his next goal. It almost seemed like. And also, I do want to point out this sort of framing and shot of Fido at the end, because with how it had what looked like oil or something streaming from its optical lens, making it look like it was crying. I was like, that's some shit.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was just like, like it was like oil and like a crack, whatever. It's just like, damn, that is depressing, and it does make it look like it's crying.
And the only worst part is just this whole thing. You hear all this fighting going on, but it always focuses on Fido, so no idea what's going on with the rest of the squad.
Yeah. So we'll see how episode 11 plays out in the finale to this first season. The finale of a show that, in my opinion, personally, for me at least, possibly the best new anime to come out of this spring, and that's even going over Tokyo. I have loved 86. I have loved everything about it. I loved how they have handled the episodes, with the multiple viewpoints that we've gotten to see. I have absolutely adored this series, and if you guys have not checked it out yet, I highly recommend to go check it out because it is incredible. Very excited for season 2 at some point, and excited to see what's going to continue to come out of it.
I got a question.
Yeah, what's up?
So, do you think your hype for 86 is has something to do with say Tokyo Revengers, for example? You were able to go through and read all of Tokyo Revengers, so you're caught up with the manga now, whereas 86 is a little harder for you to do that. And maybe just not knowing week to week and just knowing bits and pieces from what you see online. Maybe that is what makes it even more hype for you.
I would say no, just because I really enjoy the content that is 86. I enjoy a lot of the topics that is tackled in this series. I really love how they handle the multiple viewpoints of things. I think that's a very interesting way for the episode to go about. So I would say no, because also, even though you are correct, it is easier for me to go read Tokyo Revengers like I have. Tokyo Revengers was a very good read. I read it all in one day. Very much enjoyed it. But I mean, when it comes to everything that's happened in Tokyo Revengers, there was only a handful of parts that just really, really had me going. There were a couple parts that were just Like for example, the Christmas stuff. I thought the Christmas stuff was okay.
It was yeah.
It was okay, and that's a kind of a lengthy arc there. It was all right.
Yeah.
Bloody Halloween's all right. It's pretty solid. I enjoyed it. I would say for Tokyo Revengers, where we are right now in the manga is where my attention is, because that is probably my favorite part so far, is where we are now and where we're going to potentially be heading. But I mean, for 86, I'm looking at potentially reading the light novels. I do want to know more, and I've gathered bits and pieces for what's to come. But I would say it's just based on the content itself. I enjoy the content of 86 more than Tokyo Revengers, for me personally.
I would agree with that, because I feel like the big difference here is Tokyo Revengers is good. It's animated. It sticks for the manga and everything. But I feel like the thing with 86 is just in the way it's done. There's a lot more technical stuff being done in the terms of just what information is being allowed, the things it shows, how they do things, even like the opening of just the whole thing with the people being at it throughout the episodes.
I love that.
And then just the switch perspectives of seeing some things from Shin's POV, then if we're lucky, getting the same scene just from Lena's POV. So, I mean, 86 has a much more theatrical put together of just bits and pieces here and there left out in here, just to really encompass the story and make you really realize what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, those are great answers. I just asked because I enjoy 86 and Tokyo Revengers equally. And yeah, I'd give Tokyo Revengers kind of the higher spot if I'm, can't watch everything.
Right.
But I find Tokyo Revengers is because I don't know what's happening next. And that's what makes me excited for every episode. Same with 86. I don't know anything past, the episode I'm on. So yeah, just figured it was a curious question.
No,
I want to get your guys' thoughts on it.
Great question. And I'll also say, and this just goes for me. I feel like Zach's going to be a little different from here, because he's read a couple others in the past, and I've really only read 2 that are probably the most notable off the top of my head, being Tokyo and Weak Hero. But even though I do enjoy these series, they're very fun reads. There's a lot of aspects about them that's good, between the characters, the fights and stuff like that. I'll go ahead and say it. As much as I enjoy them, delinquent series, they are kind of cringy to me. I'm going to go ahead and say it. They are cringy. Because a great example, because this is animated in Tokyo Revengers, one of the most cringy lines in Tokyo Revengers was a few episodes ago, where Draken's just like, "You have strayed from the life of the delinquent." And I'm like, that is so damn cringy. Jesus Christ. So even though, yes, they are enjoyable, there's a lot of aspects that make me cringe. Like let's say Weak Hero. now granted, this goes for a lot of webtoons. You can agree with me, Zach. Over the top cursing that they do. It's like, oh, I'm gonna kick your ass, motherfucker. It's just stuff that kids say, more than anything. And then also like this latest chapter where that guy's just like, yeah, man, you kicked my ass so hard I had to drop out of high school. Life was so hard. Like, dude, like that shit's cringy to me. All right, I enjoy it. It's fun to read, but that's probably also ties into why I enjoy 86 More, is because I don't get cringe moments from time to time watching it or reading it.
See, I don't really cringe at those moments anymore, just because I know that's just sort of tropes in those in that genre.
It's the tropes, correct.
And I'm just like, okay, there's that trope. Carry on.
Yeah, like I would definitely say that line from Draken is one of the most cringy things I've seen in Tokyo Revengers.
See, I feel like that was part of his character because you got to remember they're middle schoolers,
and that goes into my personal about it. Like I said, it's enjoyable, it's fun, but that's just a personal thing for me. And there may be people that may agree with me on that. But, like I said, they are fun to read and watch. But I think that ties in also to why I enjoy 86 More, is I just enjoy the tone of it a lot more. And I think that's what it comes down to, personally. All right, so let's hop over to Your Eternity, episode 10, which we had a follow up, from the end of last episode where that creature thing, the tree thing, is back. We got to see the fight between it and Fushi and Gugu, which Gugu was, finally it was able to figure out how to use the liquor in his belly and got to be the badass that he's going to end up becoming, breathing fire.
I enjoyed everything that was with Gugu this entire episode.
True.
Just, and I mean, actually, from what I got from towards the end of the episode, it seems like there's multiple of these creatures.
Yeah.
From what I got from the end, the moment we had, but just everything with Gugu was great. Just him and Fushi's interaction of Fushi telling him to run and Gugu just falling and suddenly becoming drunk and just walking in on that situation just fucking plastered.
Yes. It's like, give me your strongest booze.
Give me it all, old man.
Meanwhile, Ren's parents, whatever, it's just like, what is wrong with this boy? Then he got, left she's like, there's no one that loves her more than Gugu.
I'm leaving.
Slams the door, and then goes out and, be's the badass that he's going to end up becoming and breathes fire and burns this thing down, which, when we get back to the fight, it ended up beating Fushi. It basically took all of Fushi's forms to be able to get around, and Fushi's back to the rock that he originally was, at one point. And then it kind of, you get to see, I still don't know what to call this guy. I'm just calling him God because I don't know it's essentially like a god.
Yeah, it's stated that he's some sort of god of sorts.
Yeah. So you get another shot of him where he's just like, you can't stay here and get stronger. And Fushi's just like, oh no, Gugu will take care of it. I need Gugu, to continue to grow and learn. And the God's just like, I suppose that's an option too.
Well, I like how in that whole conversation he doesn't even suppose it's just a definite that is an option.
Yep.
Of just he's addressing it and saying that you can do that, but from everything you say, it's not the most optimal choice.
He's telling Fushi the most optimal choice is to you need to leave. And the reason he wants him to leave is because it'll help further getting him Fushi getting stimulation, which is how he furthers to grow and get stronger and get these other forms and stuff. And then this episode finished off with a time skip, which
4 years.
I didn't expect. I didn't expect that this episode kind of caught me off guard a little bit. But now we get to see Gugu as the badass that we've seen in the opening.
Gugu is fucking ripped.
Yeah, he is ripped, dude. He is ready to go. I also like how there was a little shot of him flexing, in the episode as well.
I did note that also his mask changed too.
Yeah, it did.
And just everything it was a nice just sudden time skip that we got, which I'm sort of happy about and everything because it's only going to progress. And then I did like how it was another dinner scene with the 5 of them again, sort of reinfecting from the original one we have when Rim first showed up there.
Right. And one thing that I didn't know or see or whatever, because we've known that Gugu was going to grow up and be a badass. We've seen this from the opening from day one, right? But one thing I didn't know is I didn't know that Fushi would actually have a little bit of an appearance change, because that's nothing that we've seen in the opening or anything. So when we see him get a little bit of an appearance change, kind of growing a little bit of facial hair, it's just like, oh, okay, well, this is a pleasant surprise. it makes sense obviously, but it's not. I didn't know that was going to happen because he is immortal. I just assumed I assumed the boy was going to stay the boy the entire time, the nameless boy. I never thought his appearance was going to change.
Yeah, because that was a nice little spot and everything for it, because from everything we've gotten, he literally just takes the form of those people who've inspired or he had a spark from.
Yep.
So we had no inclination that if he stayed in those forms long enough, that it would actually be affected by actual time and wear. So it was a nice little moment to see that, yes, Fushi's forms can change if he takes them long enough, it seems.
Yeah, which is just another thing to further bring the mystery of what all can this dude do. You know, because it's like you were saying, involving like him taking the forms. Like anytime he transforms into Fushi, for example, he still has the rope on his wrist. He still has the injured leg. Same thing with March. He'll have like the injured wound in the chest or the back. I mean,
which actually, now that we say that, the arrow's gone. The arrow hasn't been showing up for a while now.
Yeah, it hasn't.
I think about since he lost it. And I mean, even this episode has shown how he's grown, and I guess he can control it, because we did have a shot when he first was with Gui where the clothes were stuck to him, and now he's just taking clothes on and off like it's normal.
Right. And I'm also wondering about one thing, you know, since we saw the nameless boy, that transformation age, are we gonna see March age? Because, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the opening there we do see like an older March, correct? I want to say that's an older March at some point during the opening.
Well, that was actually from her little
like dream sequence, whatever.
Yeah, when
wishing
she was
she'd be an adult,
passing.
Right.
She did become sort of an older version, and then had all the stuffed animals approaching her like they were kids. So that's what it seemed like that was from, based on the opening stuff. But that does not mean we will not see an older March from Fushi if, for some reason, he gets some inspiration to picture how March would grow up.
Right. I don't know. I guess we'll continue to see. I did also see this the other day. To Your Eternity is only 20 episodes. It's not going to be 24 or 25 or anything. So we got 10 more.
Okay.
Yeah, we got 10 more to go to kind of explore and see where this is going to take us. And, you know, there's still a couple characters that we still need to be introduced to, like the pink-haired girl that we see walking on the beach in the opening.
There's a whole group of desert people we haven't met. So
we've still got a little bit to go. Looking forward to seeing how this continues to play out. What about Eden Zero, episode 10? With all the B-tubers, all just, you know, heroes fantasy here. All the B-tubers just all, you know, in the room.
Oh, episode fan service?
Yeah, episode fan service, basically.
I mean, it was a foam party.
Yeah, it was a giant foam party.
I mean, other than that, I mean, Shiki got to be super mad. Got to see Homura do some stuff.
Yeah, definitely got to see her do some action, which is pretty dope.
Got the first viewings of Moskoi.
Yeah.
And him, and what that whole situation is.
Right.
So, I mean, overall, it was an entertaining episode. I mean, not much actually really happened
True.
in terms of stuff, but
this is like that. This is one of those like first little like intro arcs that's just kind of like meh, you know, like it doesn't have like anything that super like pulls you in and stuff, because it's mostly just introducing Sister. I feel like is the main draw point.
Sister.
Yeah, Homura and Sister. Yeah. And then, you know, the next arc that we're going into is where we're going to meet Hermit, correct? Mm-hmm. I'm wondering where this series is going to end. You know, like where is season 1 going to end? Because it's only that one is confirmed for like 24 to 26 episodes. Like, is it going to end on the Valkyrie stuff? Is that where it's going to potentially end?
That's what I would guess.
I would not. I'd be blown away if we somehow got to Draken. There's no way.
No way
We're getting there. Which the Draken stuff is what I'm really pumped for. I'm assuming it's going to be season 2. That's going to be super, super good.
I was about to say, there's no possible way I see it doing Draken unless they just really shorten stuff.
They would
take stuff out.
I don't think they would do that, man. I really don't. But I mean, it was a fun episode, funny episode. Got some good laughs out of it. You know, Shiki met up with his ninja rival again, so we're going to see a little fight sequence there. And then, like I said, stuff with Homura, getting to see her use her ether gear, which is the swords. Pretty cool stuff there. A little interaction between her and Wise as well. Seven Deadly Sins, season 4, episode 23. I only got one more episode left, and I gotta say, feels good. Feels good to get this one off my plate. I've wanted to get this one off my plate for a little bit now.
No more slideshows?
No more slideshows. Man, I don't know. I've said it before. This little end arc with Kath and Chaos, whatever, it feels so pointless and lackluster. And how Kath is defeated just feels like it feels stupid. Like just it doesn't like there is no actual really like cool like hype fight like you got with the Demon King and stuff. It was okay. Still got the disturbing voice stuff that I talked about last week. It just bothers me how overwhelmingly positively disturbing it is. But I'm excited to get this one off my slate. I will say that. I enjoy Seven Deadly Sins as a series, but this has been a rough watch. Only one episode left, which is going to get to see we're going to do a little bit of a time skip, just kind of see where all the sins are up to. Having a good life, all that good stuff. The end of this episode pretty much, really, honestly and truthfully, helps set up Four Nights of the Apocalypse. I feels like because of now we know what the content it should be going in Four Nights of the Apocalypse manga with Arthur and Camelot and everything. So this kind of sets things up. And, I will say rewatching this, watching this and being reminded of this, it does bring questions for what's to come in Four Nights of the Apocalypse. Because, with how Four Nights of the Apocalypse is kind of teased where Camelot, is evil with how, the manga's teased and how Arthur's potentially like our antagonist. He's got chaos. He's got like this super powerful sword now with how he defeated Kath and everything. And, one little tidbit that I kind of just caught where is proposed questions in my head for what's to come is, Meliodas is like, oh yeah, that's a kick-ass sword there. That's a kind of sword a king needs to help create this wonderful world that you want to create. We're looking forward to seeing what you do and blah, 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 being super supportive of Arthur. And Meliodas telling Arthur just like, and I thought it was interesting where Meliodas is like, no matter what you do, good or if you fall off your path, the 7 deadly sins will be behind you. That line kind of stuck out to me now that I know where we are in Four Nights of the Apocalypse. So I'm wondering, where do the 7 deadly sins play in this manga? That line just kind of stuck out. I guess I forgot about where Meliodas basically said, "Hey, even if you fuck up, we're gonna have your back." So I'm kind of curious to where that's gonna pop up in the new manga. But bottom line, I am excited to get this one off my weekly lineup. So what was you guys' favorite episode of the week?
86.
Good choice.
I'm going to go One Piece. Just, it was really good. It was refreshing from how it has been.
I'm going to probably say 86. A close second is To Your Eternity, episode 10. I would say those are going to definitely be mine. All right, let's hop through our chapter ratings for the week. So Black Clover was on a break this week. We did have an unexpected break on Solo Leveling, so no chapter this week. So kicking things off with One Piece 1016.
I enjoyed it. I would give it probably a 9 out of 10.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, you'll be disappointed. I'm giving it a 7. It was all right.
I mean, that's fair.
I'm
probably giving it a 9 for different reasons than you're giving it a 7, though.
That's totally fair. What about My Hero Academia 316?
8.
Yeah, 8's good on that one.
I agree to an 8. Black Clover, like I said, was on a break. So Dr. Stone, chapter 200. 7.
Yeah.
6.
Okay. JJK 152, which of course is going to be the final chapter for a month or so, and it was very clear that it was incomplete because it was only 9 pages. I just give it a 7.
I mean, for what it was really good. I'm going to give it an 8.
6.
All right. Mission Yozakura Family 86. A very, very wholesome chapter. Really enjoyed this one. I'm going to give it an 8. Undone Luck 67. I'm going to give this one an 8. Mashal 66. I'm giving this one a 9.
I'll give it a 9.
Great chapter, man. Had me rolling. Sakamoto Days chapter 27.
I'll give it a 9.
I give this one a 9 as well. This was a really good chapter. I read this and my first thought was, yeah, that's a 9 from Zach.
I just enjoyed the moment of, hey, this is a new person. He's a teddy bear. Well, I'm going to leave that to you. Sakamoto's like, oh, okay, later.
Yeah, it's like, all right, later, man. Hopefully everyone's good. Tell everyone I said hi. Oh, yeah, that was a 9 for me. Good chapter. Elusive Samurai chapter 20.
8.
I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm looking forward to the next chapter though.
Yeah,
I definitely say
next
that.
chapter should be good.
I'm really pumped up for 21. ITLC chapter 19, I give it a 7. Witch Watch chapter 18,
5.
I give it a 5. Ball Parade chapter 17,
5.
I give it a 5 as well. And the big thing about Ball Parade that me and Zach are both agreeing why it's getting such a low rating from us is because we know the series is dead. That's very very clear it's dead. So what they did to like basically introduce something new was very unnecessary.
Pretty much it was a new dungeon which should only have one boss, but for some reason there's a mid boss in the center of it just because fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just very unnecessary. Blue Box chapter 9.
I'm gonna say 7.
I'll give it a 7 as well. Candy Flurry chapter 8. I give this one a 7.
7.
My Hero Vigilantes 103. I'd give this one an 8. Kaiju number 8 chapter 37.
8.
I give this one a 9.
8.
Honestly, I really enjoyed what went on in this chapter.
It was good. I'm gonna give it 8.
What about Tokyo Avengers chapter 210?
I'm gonna give it an 8.
I give it an 8 as well. Eden 0147. I gave it a 7 personally.
Yeah, 7.
7 Deadly Sins, 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, Chapter 20. I give this one an 8. Really pumped up for the next chapter, that's for sure. I'm ready to read that one next week. Ranger Reject, Chapter 17. Give that one a 7 as well. What about God of High School 519?
I'll give it an 8.
I give it an 8. And you know, what happened to that guy feels very fitting. Brutal. Very brutal. But fitting.
He deserved it.
He deserved it. Very brutal, but he deserved it. So leveling on a break. Weak Hero 142. I give this chapter a 7, honestly.
7.
Yeah. And what about El Cid 116?
I'll give it a 7.
Favorite chapter of the week?
Sakamoto.
I got to give it to Mashal. Mashal
Yeah.
absolutely killed me.
I hate to double down on One Piece, but I'm gonna double down on One Piece.
Hey, man, nothing wrong with that. All right, well, that's going to do it for the show. We hit everything that we need to hit this week. Got all of our nice reviews in. Next week should be good. You know, I'm really pumped up to talk about the finale of 86. Ready to get 7 Deadly Sins officially off my plate here. Lots of good stuff going on next week. Looking forward to seeing what's all going to pop out in the news and everything. Zach, Josh, you guys got anything you guys want to say to finish off the show here?
I'm just going to say my usual spill. Please like, comment, subscribe, rate, anything your platform allows. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can hit the subscribe button. If you then want to be notified of when we post stuff, you can hit the bell, and it'll show up nice and pretty on your home screen whenever we post something, which is a lot this week.
It was a lot this week.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
So if you feel like doing any of that, it does help us out, helps us get us out there. But if not, thank you for at least watching and listening. Thank you.
Josh, what you got? You got that inspirational speech lined up? Hit us with it, man. What are you going to
you know
tell
I
me to make me want to run through a wall?
Okay. Well, I don't have an inspirational speech, but I will just go ahead and say,
What the
no, I YOLO'd a poll on our Twitter account at AniMan Podcast. It'll be going for the next week, so if you guys want to head over there and participate, comment, anything, figure maybe it'll be a good chance to interact with our listeners and, you know, give you guys a chance to speak your minds, and maybe we'll be able to talk about it on a future podcast. You know, if we get enough comments or votes or something like that.
And that is at AniMan Podcast over at Twitter. Also, shout out to the weekly polls. Moment of silence for the weekly polls.
Which brings up, if you're going to mention it, Josh, what even is the weekly poll?
Well, the weekly poll is kind of a spoiler for anime-only viewers, but it's about chapter 1016 of One Piece. And basically, if we're going to get another crew member after this arc, and who do we think it's going to be? Since we did get kind of like a big self-proclamation at the end of the chapter.
Sure.
It's kind of fueled the question.
Yep. So moment of silence for the weekly poll. All right, moment's over. All right, so actually, yeah, the story for the weekly poll, the last time we had one, going into that episode of AniMan Plus, I completely forgot about it to say the results and to set up a new weekly poll until like 3 days afterwards. And then I just kind of dropped it. I'm just like, I forgot about it. I'm just going to leave it alone. Just keep on rolling with it. And here we are. Josh trying to bring it back.
Yeah, trying to bring it back and trying to get more interaction. I feel
Always
like
a good
Twitter account's kind of dead. We don't really post a lot on it, nor do we get a lot of feedback. So, anything to kind of test the waters to see if maybe Twitter might still be the social media platform to be on.
I wouldn't call it dead. It's been kind of on the slow side recently because, like, me personally, I've been very active on LH Gamers. That's where I've been active because of E3 and everything popping out over there. Which, make sure to go if you're into gaming, which I would assume you might be. Make sure to go check out our gaming podcast. Go follow us on Twitter at LH Gamers Podcast. Zach joins me. We got some guests on from time to time. We talk about the latest and greatest in the gaming industry. Lots going on right now with everything that came out of E3. The Nintendo Direct had Metroid Dread, Breath of the Wild 2. Then we had the Guardians of the Galaxy game. Got a first look at Elden's Ring. Sorry. Starfield, lots of good stuff going on in the gaming world. So I've been very, very busy over there for sure. But if you guys made it all the way to the end, we greatly appreciate you for that. Good words from Zach and Josh here, besides the fact that Josh still can't give us an inspirational speech. Maybe next week we'll follow up.
Or maybe never.
We'll follow up with him next week. We'll see if he's got something for us to make me want to get up out of my chair and run through that wall. But that's going to do it from us, guys. Like I said, hopefully if you made it to the end, we appreciate the hell out of you for that. Be a friend, tell a friend that you listen to the show, and we'd appreciate the hell out of that as well. Until next time, guys, hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you.
Bye.
Later, guys.